I'm Kiara.
Hi, I'm Tanesha, and you're now entering the Sister Chat. Welcome to Main Event Mama's podcast. That's us.
That's us. So I'm excited because it's our wrestling episode and we have so much to talk about.
So much. A lot.
I mean,
it's too much.
We're going to be here a minute. Be here a minute tonight. So we have a lot to talk about. So let's just lean right in. Before I do that, because my kids told me I didn't do this last time.
Oh, we didn't tell them to subscribe.
That's right.
Oh.
We want to tell you, this is your moment to hit that button and subscribe. When I upload this, you'll see the nice button here, like it always is. And we want you to hit that subscribe button and show your support. Okay, now on to what we're talking about. So a lot of big stories that came about this week in WWE. And I think the first thing we want to hit it off with is these releases, right? Like, WTF. It's been a rough week.
It's so hard.
It is. And R-Truth hit everyone really hard. Us too. Us really hard because we love him. And then Carlito, I mean, that wasn't the icing on the cake. It just was like one more sadness. And then there's all these rumors going around now because people have, taken WWE out their profiles and so on and so forth. This happened with Gunther and The Miz. The Miz is very similar to Truth in that he has like one of these, he's been there forever, right? And he's not used all the time and probably likely commands like a pretty hefty salary, I would say.
Well, speaking about salary, there's that rumor going around about Roman Reigns, and they may take, is he really worth $15 million and him being part-time? That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it is crazy. It is super crazy. I'm trying to, make sense of it. I think coming from the corporate world, this is normal. When you're in a corporation, they just be letting people go. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care if they liked you.
And that's the thing. We both know that very well.
Yes, I was literally the only one. I was a department by myself, and they still let me go. So they're like, somebody can do it. Won't be you. You know what I'm saying? So it's clear that when it comes to corporate, which is a structure that WWE is just moving more and more towards. I think people forget that with Vince out and TKO over it, it is not just, a family business anymore. It's about money. As we already talked about the Logan Pauls of it all, about their insane tickets to go to these events.
Listen.
I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be home on Peacock because I'm not about to spend 2 checks on some wrestling tickets. And I was thinking about WrestleMania next year too, because that price is gonna go up from this year since it's likely going to be in Vegas again, even though they haven't.
Oh, really? They're going to hold on, wait a minute. Why? Normally every year we go to a different venue at a different, why are we staying in the same location? I don't understand.
Excellent question. I had that same thought. They haven't officially announced it yet because I was excited about New Orleans. I was trying to figure out how we could get there because I've never been to New Orleans. I really want to go. And this was a really good business reason to be there.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, they decided to cancel that, and they're like, we'll give you something else later. But the theory on the wrestling Twitter is that they already had this deal that was really great for everybody last year in Vegas, and so they just want to capitalize on Vegas again. But it's weird because it's never been, I don't know if it's ever been back-to-back in the same city, so I'm like, that's kind of...
No, I feel like they pride themselves to
go to different areas, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around, but to take it back to the releases, I mean, how are you feeling about this? We've had some time to absorb the information. Like we said, we've both gone through this already. I definitely have my own perspective, but I kind of want to start with yours. So what are you thinking about it right now?
I think it sucks anytime someone loses their job, especially if it's coming from a business standpoint, right? And I believe R-Truth definitely hit us all hard because he brings a certain charisma to it where he didn't have to be full-time. He could just be in the background doing something crazy. And then we're like, oh, man, R-Truth. Just to give a little bit of a lightness, airy, hilariousness, comedy to bring to it. I mean, come on, let's think about the times that he thought he was in matches that he really wasn't in matches.
Oh my God.
Let's think about
Jimmy.
let's think about him sitting here calling everybody else somebody else, and you're
Oh
like,
my
huh?
God.
Wait, what? See, I know, like, stuff like that, or even when he does his tag teams, like him and the Miz. That's crazy. When he was sitting here saying he was part of Judgment Day and was a part of Awesome Truth,
It was
that was funny.
awesome.
That was awesome.
Yes.
And then even too, just back then, I mean, one, he doesn't look his age.
No.
Two, he has so many other things going for him. So it does suck in essence that we're losing someone, but we also know how releases go too. Sometimes they release you right now, but that doesn't mean that you are not going to be in some other capacity. And I think also too, we have to remember, yes, he's saying he's being released, but is that at the end of excuse me, at the end of his contract. We don't know what the end of his contract is,
We don't.
but pretty much trying giving us a gear up, because remember too, back then releases, they used to get released and then you didn't see them the next day. It was like,
Oh yeah, they were in the middle of storyline,
like it
and
was
we're
like,
like, bye.
see you later, and it was like, oh, but we were
But if
just,
this one, it feels like it was kind of in the middle of
it was
storyline a bit
because
too.
he just started wrestling more,
Yes,
and it was on the hill of John Cena. So part of me feels like I'm hoping this is a storyline.
it's definitely not.
I know it's not, but sometimes you kind of still have in the back of your head, like, well, maybe it's a
It's a little delulu,
storyline.
but I love this for
I
you.
know, but I mean, only because technically to me it would make sense, because John Cena is supposed to be trying to ruin wrestling,
This is a good way to ruin it.
right? Right. But I'm saying, as in, like, well, since you still won't get off of this Ron Cena, now you out of job. Like, like.
I mean, I think I heard on Busted Open, I think Bully, that was one of his like suggestions that they could turn it into a storyline with John Cena, and that would make, him much more of a heel because he's struggling on that bus. I mean, does he feel really that much like a heel? No, not really, but we'll get into that later. But I will say, for me, I think they're moving towards, like I said, this corporate thing where they kind of start to trim the fat and things like that. What I think that they should start doing, though, I like soap operas, right?
Of course, I like soap operas
Yes.
too.
Yes, because we talked about Passions not too long ago. But, you know, rest in peace. Amazing, amazing piece of work. But the way that these contracts work with talent, I think it's similar in that there's no off weeks. With a soap opera, it's on all year, every day practically is a new episode, except for a couple times where you have holidays where they mix in like older episodes. And what they tend to do lately is that if there is a contract that is negotiating, they tend, and it goes on for an extended period of time, they tend to pull the talent from the soap opera. So you'll just like not see them. They'll just disappear and come back once the contract is signed or not signed. I think I would like to start seeing them do something like that so that we have time to adjust and it's not in the middle of the storyline, because it's very jarring to see R-Truth last week calling JC Mateo Husky, cracking me up, and then poof, he's gone and we don't have any follow-up, and it's kind of confusing. So that's what I would like to see them start doing. But I also don't think it's as much as a big deal like you mentioned last time, because it's, I mean, they often come back. People being released isn't the end of the world. And then also the it's about building your brand now rather than just being a WWE superstar. Like we talked about how all the other superstars are doing outside projects. I think maybe this is an opportunity for people to start betting on themselves more. Yes, we may see them less, and that's something I think the corporate part of WWE is going to have to figure out. But the truth is, it's a complicated story, and you got to bet on yourself at the end of the day, right? So I know that he's going to come off for this shining. I'm sure we'll see him laughing some other time. So I'm excited to see him in the future. So let's talk SmackDown, right?
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. The Bianca, Naomi, and Jade face off. I know we wanted to start with like, the match, but I wanted to go there first and then
Okay.
backwards. So what'd you think? Did it live up to the story? What do you think?
I still feel Bianca was on it.
In on it?
And she had the reason why I say that is because after all of that, when Jade came out to now fight Naomi, Bianca's over there in the back and it's like, girl, didn't you just tell her that you don't want no parts of her no more? So why are you like, oh my god, what's happening? Why are you doing this?
Yes. I can see that. So, I can see that.
So no, I think she still has a part of it. But I have to say Naomi really killed it. Especially when she was like, you could see she was forcing the tears out her eyes. She was just forcing those to come out. And then went, what?
You didn't answer my text.
Then, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, breaking into somebody's home.
I mean, is that not the limit? Is that not?
That's a little.
My note said we're doing stalker vibes now.
But wait, hold on.
It's giving
did you see
stalker
what I had sent
vibes.
You? But that was stalker vibes. But did you see what I sent you?
I don't know.
It was apparently Jade's birthday.
Yes, I did.
She put razor blades in the ice cream cake.
That's crazy work.
Put it back in the box. And then proceed to wrap it with caution tape. And then made the caption, she's been silent lately. I guess she liked my cake.
No.
And I went,
that's crazy work.
What?
No, they were going back and forth on the R-Truth thing. Too.
R-Truth thing, and it was like, I hate her. I hate this more than I hate you.
Right. Why couldn't Jade be released? I was like, oh my God. That's crazy. It's crazy.
So, I mean, it definitely played the part of everything. And to have Bianca even like, if you ever come back to my house, like, don't be ever. But it's still like, I wasn't convinced.
You weren't?
When she said, no, when she was like, I'm gonna do you worse than what you did, Jade, I wasn't convinced. And then her parents are the most comic people in the back. They're like, I don't know. I didn't see her. I don't know. Like,
that was funny. I did love that too. Or I hated, what did she tell?
Her father was the most funny. He was like, it wasn't me. I didn't let her in. I didn't let her in. They couldn't even keep it straight.
They need a ring camera. They need to.
Like,
it was
then
scary.
it was like, she was like, and then when Naomi switched up and was like, I would hate to see both of y'all in a wheelchair. At first, it took me a second because I was like, wait, you're gonna do something to her mom? Hold on, wait, time out. What are we talking about? And then I was like, oh. Then when Bianca had posted that her mom was like in the wheelchair, I went, oh.
Then it. Okay,
it clicked then because I was just like, I said, now you're going down a whole different path. Now you're threatening somebody. Because that's why I also said, like, I felt like she was in on it because if you threaten my mom, you ain't going to be able to even speak after. Like, the moment you even get those words out, you ain't going to still be standing in front.
Oh, okay. You know
what I'm saying?
A little retribution.
So I just felt like, this felt like it just wasn't, Bianca just wasn't giving what it needed to give.
I was going to say that she wasn't giving.
She wasn't, and that's why I'm still convinced that she was a part of it, or she at least knew. So trying to be so angry, you betrayed me. Girl, you knew. You just are trying to stay with the part because even Jade is looking at you like,
right. I was like, okay,
like, come on.
Who knows you better than your best friend? So your best friend's gonna know when you lying. They're gonna know. They're gonna be like, you can tell the whole world whatever you want, but I know you.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Because even when I said on the last time when we talked about this, it's like, my best friend at some point will find out the truth. I may be able to like, no, that's not happening. But maybe a couple hours later, maybe a day or two or week, maybe a month later, you're going to find out the truth and you're going to be like,
now you know?
So, now you know. This is what happened. So, do you still love me?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I was like, listen, something's not clicking here. I still feel like Bianca had to be in on it at some level. So perhaps she didn't know the initial attack, But at some point, something had to slip. Y'all traveled together. Y'all hung together all the time. You did 955 TikToks together. What did Naomi say? I tried to visit you in the hospital. Like,
and they ain't let me up, sis. They ain't let me up.
So,
and then it's like
something's not right. So I definitely agree that there's something here. I don't know what it is yet, but I will say one thing. I didn't think the face-off lived up to the story. I felt like there was more that needed to happen. And I realized that we were going to end up with that match right after that. But I think, was that right after? Yes.
Yes,
okay.
It was right after.
I was going to say, I think the match was right after.
Because then Jade came out, and then Naomi came, and then Nia came out after.
Right. So I was like, I know that we still had to have time for that match, but I was like, is anything else going to happen? Like, I know this was Bianca's hometown. It was a big deal. Woohoo, all that. But I'm like, could something more have happened? I didn't like that when Jade got with Bianca, no words were said. I was like, if this is my best friend, I got something to say about this, about you letting some chick who beat me up or whatever be your best friend. And then also, why did Jade never tell Bianca that she knew? I feel like there's more layers to the story.
And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. I don't think, that's why Bianca has to be in it on some point. Even to get to your point of she was in it at something, is she could have been just at the beginning. Maybe she's like, but I don't want to know what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know what you do to get there. Like, but let's get it done.
Yes. Maybe she was the mastermind.
Because I do want to be a tag team with you.
Yeah, maybe she was the mastermind.
Let's get that done. But I don't want to know the details.
Right.
Or maybe she told her not to go that hard. Maybe she just told her, like, to break a toe. You know what I'm saying? Like, break something, but don't go that hard. So maybe she's more mad that you went to the extreme, and that's not what y'all talked about.
I just feel like there's more. I want more. I need you to give me more. Because this story has been going on forever. And I feel like it was such a good story. It had so much steam. And finally getting them in the same place was what we kind of had hoped for. But then now we're just kind of like, we're in the stagnant space. So there's something more that needs to happen between the three of them. All right, so let's get into the Nia Jax, Naomi, and Jade match. Now that thing was fun, right?
That was a good match.
I was like, goodness gracious. I was like, oh no, Nia and her sitting on everyone. Good God, it was a lot.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like sitting on somebody is probably effective 99.9 of the time. But if that is always your go-to, you know, especially at the end, girl, you thought she was just gonna still lay there? I mean, she was looking upside down. If I'm looking upside down, I'm like, I ain't trying to get that on me. Like, you may take my whole breath away.
That's the purpose.
Like, it's not going to take the whole thing. Now, granted, I do feel like the end of the match, kind of, you could tell, like, she was struggling, trying to get her in the position. So it definitely missed the mark a little bit. But I guess I should give Jade a little credit.
I was going to say that. Can we admit Jade was even better this week?
I can give her a little bit of credit.
It's always a little.
Because she should be in NXT.
Here we go. Are you going to go on that rant or can we move on?
We can move on.
Thank you. So let's talk about the thing that is still confusing as hell to me. R-Truth and JC Mateo. It was a really fun match. This is also why the release caught me so far off guard, because the whole Husky backstage segment, I was in stitches. I was sitting here eating my popcorn. Like, this is the funniest thing. And the match, even though we knew he was going to get killed in the match,
yes.
I mean, it
wasn't going to end well.
There was no saving him. But it broke my heart even more, I think, from seeing Truth again deliver, to do what he always gives all the comedy, all the energy, and even watching him play off JC Mateo and Solo, because watching Solo over there was also equally funny.
What he did. I'm
like, what are you doing? What is happening?
He was like, yeah.
But he's also his personality is coming out, but I feel like with Solo, we just don't know. I feel like they don't know who he is right now, right? So at first he was
definitely don't know. Definitely don't know.
He was this silent figure. He was the muscle. And now you start to see that he has a personality similar to like Jimmy and Jey, where there's more. There's just like this natural entertainer there. And now I feel like we don't know what to do with them. Also, why haven't you wrestled in a while, God? Like, I feel like he used to be every week. He was consistent. We saw him all the time. And now this is a staple. I'm confused about the direction of Solo and where he's going next. I do think we're going to get into a little bit later. Actually, no, we can just move on into it and talk about the evolving drama with Solo and Jacob, because again, we see that personality shine through. We see those little quirks of like comedy. We see a little bit of the facial expressions and the dance moves. Great guy. Did a great job there. But that match with Jacob, Andrade, and Carmelo did not go according to plan, did it?
No, it actually did not. And to touch in on that too, because in the beginning, in that promo that was cut with R-Truth, Solo still was like, so we need to talk about what we gonna do. And once again, Jacob was like, that's on y'all. I got something else to do. I got other business to handle. I'm gonna go do what I do. Right. Y'all could go do what y'all do. And it's like, so it's like, yeah, y'all handle that. I ain't coming out there with y'all. I'm cool. And so you can see he is definitely trying to create a boundary. Because I'm going to say distance himself, but he's trying to create a boundary. Like, hey,
no,
guys.
I think you're right in distance himself.
Okay, well, it can be distance and boundary.
Yes. So
both. And so the match, I think that match was amazing. I think that was very technical.
Yes.
To really see it. Now, granted, yes, I saw a couple setups, but I get it. I need to see those things so they can make sure people don't get hurt. But it was like, But
Andrade and Carmelo were impressed.
They were good. No, that was really good.
Stayed I'm not gonna lie.
They stayed consistent. Yes, no. That was a really good match. Until you could clearly see Jacob was probably going to win. And here comes Solo. Come back up and be like, do it again. And he's looking at him like, what are you doing? Why are you up here?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not even losing. What are you doing? And then he's like, do it again. Come on. Oh. And then you're like, huh? And even Jacob's just like, what is wrong with you?
It's embarrassing.
And then here comes JC. He said, do it again. Who are you talking to?
Also, you don't like him. Like, I don't like him. So why is he even here speaking to me? What?
Which then cost him the match. Because now he's too busy dealing with y'all when he shouldn't even be dealing with y'all because he wasn't even losing.
Nope. And he took a lot of that anger out.
And you know what? Rightfully so. Because it's like, and he even said it, I'm tired. I'm trying to do this. Don't need y'all help. Like, I can do this. And then Solo comes, hey, why are we so upset? What happened? And it's like, I don't need your help. How many times do I need to tell you I don't need your help? Like, this is not,
Yep, I didn't ask for it. I don't want it.
And then, of course, Solo's just looking like, but what do you mean?
Exactly. Like, you are not that damn clueless. You are not.
Like, what do you mean? Why? Why are you upset? And then Jimmy came out. Super kicked. And it's like, and you're right, because they need to find identity for Solo. Solo seems so lost that now he's not tribal chief when he technically was never really tribal chief. But we were gonna let him have that. And
no, we weren't. We weren't. We were always calling from Roman's return, remember?
He was the acting tribal chief. That's what we'll give him. We'll give him one of those, like, he was
interim.
He was, there we go. Interim. There we go. Like, interim, he was trying. He was an apprentice. There we go. An apprentice.
That's even lower. You just keep getting lower and lower. So low. But I do, like, who is
He was an intern.
Right? Like, he's an intern. He's an assistant. He's like the person who went to school with his cousins.
He was the one who goes just the coffee.
I'm sorry. Solo, we love you. I'm sorry. But I do feel like we need to figure out who he is now. And I don't know that we've carved out his character enough. Also, I'm gonna keep saying this. Stop bothering Jimmy. Y'all like kicked him out in the most definitive way, and now you want to be friends and family again? Like, nah.
You want to know something? You want to know what I think may happen?
What?
Jacob and Jimmy may tag team together to go against Solo and JC. A reason why, because even if we go back to the match, right, last week, go back to that match that Jimmy was in.
Yes.
Against JC and Jacob. At one point, Jacob and Jimmy, they didn't want to fight each other. They were just standing there looking at each other like, am I supposed to hit you? I don't think I'm supposed to hit you. Are you supposed to hit me? I don't know. We're supposed to hit each other. Meanwhile, Solo is still talking to Jimmy, trying to get him to come back to the fold, and JC's like, forget this, I'm gonna beat him up. And he's like,
JC's not having any cognitive functioning thought here. He's just the attack dog right now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I can see that may be an unlikely but potential matchup.
Okay.
To probably maybe end the saga of what used to be
the bloodline,
the new bloodline.
Yeah, and this is a good time we're going to just take it back a little bit where we were talking about those contract negotiations and that 15 million that they're trying to be like, maybe Roman doesn't deserve this. However, I feel clearly he does because we need him back. And we need him back. But also, he's also, once again, top selling merch, like all those things. So I'm not sure if that just isn't enough for the game and all of that. I don't get it, but I'm ready for Roman to come back. They need some direction for where this group is going, the character that Solo is going to play, how Jimmy fits in or doesn't. They just need a little bit more structure to this story, I feel like. It's really clear that we're going to be breaking up soon in a very big and violent way.
Not violent,
but
you know
way.
What? You're right. It will happen.
But like, do a better job of character, outlines. I need to know who Jimmy is going to be if he is part of the story still, because it seems like they keep dragging him back into it. And then even though he has his little onesies with Ray Phoenix, and other opportunities, even going back to hang out with Jey on Raw for a bit, but like, carve out the story a little better so that these people have specific parts that they're going to play, because I'm a little lost. It's hard to stay engaged in the story, except that we love Jacob.
Absolutely.
And every time they try to say his saying and he looks at them like, yeah, that's wrong.
Or you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
that's not your saying.
Nope.
Keep it to yourself.
That's right. So yeah, that. All right, so let's move on real quick to talk about... Oh, and before we wrap that up, I'm sorry. I do want to say, again, I was kind of shocked that Andrade won.
I am too.
Because I thought that Carmelo for sure would be in that match. Because of the whole Andre thing. But I also think they're also teasing something with Carmelo and Miz, potentially, because they did have that nice little scene where he's like, I think I want to handle this myself. And Miz is like, oh. And he got really quiet, and Miz is not quiet. So that's something to keep an eye on. For sure.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk Cody and John Cena's face off with Logan Paul, and then Jey came out too, and we're gonna get into Jey in a minute when we go to Raw. But I'm not excited about this tag team match in any way, shape, or form. I'm just not. I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
I know. I'm just not. I missed Cody, so it was good to see him back. But this story still feels...
Empty?
Yes. I don't... And maybe... I don't know why. John Cena's not there enough. Also, Cody hasn't been there a while. I don't want to see Logan Paul ever,
Oh,
not never.
I mean, yes.
And Jay's doing his thing on Raw 98% of the time. And Gunther comes back into the mix and you got all the things. So I'm like, this story is a little, it just felt like, this week, even though I feel like it should have been more.
Okay. I feel like the beginning, now granted, I like me some Cody, but sometimes when he be talking, it be boring. I ain't gonna lie. I just be sitting there like,
is it the big words?
can I, you know what?
I love you.
Funny, but not funny. I don't know if it's the big words, okay? Because I don't be paying attention. Because once he starts talking and it doesn't make sense to me, I just tune him out.
So definitely the big words.
You know what? Whatever.
But it's noted. Okay. Okay. I see you.
But, I ain't gonna lie, though. I thought it was comical when, yes, once this part was over, because I was like, can I just fast forward? And I was like, no, I need to watch.
I don't even remember Jay came out. That should tell you.
I know, that's the thing. I don't remember what he was talking about either, but I had to watch it. I watched it just to make sure I miss anything. Then Jay comes out, and of course, I love the fact that he's doing it with the kids, and he has the kids in the thing, and the kids are like, yeah, let's do it. Like, cool.
I think I spent more time paying attention to the entrances. Is that messed up?
No, it's not. I think it's cool. And then, of course, they do their little talking. And then it's like, okay, cool. Then John comes out before they really could talk. So it's like, okay. And John was kind of boring too.
Thank you.
He's like, I'm going to ruin wrestling.
How? Where? Why? Can I have some explanations?
And
he's like the villain.
And it's so funny because, yes, but it's so funny because it's like, you said these things to The Rock so many times about how, and look who you are.
Don't get me started.
Hollywood John Cena.
Right.
And then here you go and sit here and say the next thing should be to the YouTuber? The YouTuber?
Now that...
that is not the John Cena we know, but I get it. You're supposed to be ruining wrestling. I get it.
Okay.
But I did find it comical when they was talking about, well, come, like, we can do this right now. Logan Paul was like, yeah, let's do it. John's like, nah, we going. He's like, wait, why wait, hold on, we can't go. He's like, no, come. And he's like, can we, no. And of course, I feel like at the end that was funny because then when Cody, I should have expected him to say something funny because he's with Jay, but I didn't expect him to say something funny. So when he said, what y'all doing, arguing about who's going, what he say, wipe down or clean or something, the peacemaker, the way Jay broke character was the most funniest thing ever because Jay was just like, oh man, like, you've been hanging out with me too long, I don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
So that was good and that was funny. And then they proceeded to kick ass.
Yep.
Gave me some classic Jay and Cody. That's why they were the champions for whatever amount of time that was. That was good. It's getting me geared up for the match. So I'm hoping that they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, that's my little prediction. Hoping they're going to win.
We're not there yet.
I know. But I just figured I'd throw it out there now since we're there. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the end of Raw was a good part of it.
SmackDown.
They could have just... Was that SmackDown?
Yeah, we're still talking about SmackDown. Do you see how that starts to blur together? That's how fascinating this daggone story is. It just blends together. But it's cool. That being said, just like I said, all you did is remind me of more reasons that I do not care about this. And John Cena and the ruined wrestling blank question mark, I don't know what that means. And then following it up with like the Logan Paul of it all. Leave Jay alone over there with Gunther. Stop bringing him into this drama. That being said, last thing I want to say about SmackDown, it was great seeing Javon Evans have his first SmackDown match.
Okay, that's who that was. Yes.
Yes, Javon Evans.
Yes, that was a good match. He was very athletic.
He is amazing. He's great.
Yes.
Watching him and Ray Phoenix was just fun and exciting. And then Los Garzas and them teasing that breakup still with Korea is, I'm waiting for that to just break up. I feel like the AAA of it all is kind of gonna be where we finally see them say bye-bye to that faction and where we're going with that. So now we can talk about Raw, because obviously you ready to move on to that as we go.
My bad.
As we go. So the biggest stories from Raw, I have this Judgment Day novella continues this week.
Oh man, listen. First off, it was not the same without having our Carlito.
No.
And giving his faces and
and playing his video game in the background.
Yes. There was no video game in the background. I felt like Dom didn't know what to do with himself since there was no video games in the background.
I don't know what that was. Yes, no, Dom didn't know what to do with himself.
We definitely see that this is about to break down.
Yes, it is about to break down. But Roxanne helping people has got to be the funniest part of last week's story, or one of the funniest parts of last week's story, because we all know Liv is like, don't help me. And like you said earlier, she's the one who could use the support this time. And so I'm kind of at this point where I'm just ready for this breakup to happen and happen. What is going on at your house, Mamita?
I don't know. I need to close the door. These kids open the door. You have no idea how many kids walked in here. These damn kids. I just need to close it.
We're going to pause.
Hey, babe,
now.
can you close the door?
Okay. So, if y'all haven't realized it yet, we a little crazy. We got a lot going on. So, this is again a reminder for your moment to hit that subscribe button that will be appearing shortly at this point, so that you can also continue to follow the insanity that happens while we're recording, because life don't stop for WWE apparently either. We just bully right through it. So let's talk about Jey Uso and Gunther's conversation, and let me start, because
absolutely,
that was probably one of the things that I've been most thinking about, what Gunther said to Jey, which is essentially like, you need to focus on yourself, dude. You're a champion, and yet you playing Captain Save everyone. We got to go help Cody. We got to go help whoever needed at any given time at the end of the show. You got to go help, against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and the Seth of it all. Like, at what point do you stay focused on your championship? And I feel that will end up costing him in the long run, because the champions who have stayed champions the longest, look out for number one first. Look at what Roman did for over 1,000 days. So, I just really felt like Gunther had a real conversation that I have been wanting to have with Jey forever. Like, at some point, your friends got to save themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm at there.
I feel like, yes, it was a conversation that needed to be had and make him think about things. However, the reason why Roman is by himself is because everyone turned on him. Yes. Because he was just selfish and thinking about himself. Or have it disguised that he's thinking about the family when he wasn't. Just like, what do you think is going to happen with Seth? If he gets the championship, he only going to be thinking about himself. And eventually, the minions, which I would like to say, that somebody, I think it was Michael, called them Seth and Company. Just want to put that out there. Anyway, so everybody who was a champion who was, and look what Gunther, he became, and then he had Imperium. They left him.
I mean, did they, or did he kick them out?
No, he kicked them out, but they were also trying to help him at one point. They were helping him.
Also, he was champion for a long time as well.
He was.
The longest reigning Intercontinental champion.
Was. I feel like Jey is not. Yes, he heard him.
In the modern age, because I'm not a historian. Yes. I can't tell you.
Yeah. I think Jey may have heard him, but I also feel there's another way to get inside his head to keep trying to tell him he's not good enough to be the champion. Even though he did commend him,
he did
with a backhanded compliment.
That he did.
I like this version. Yes, he is running himself thin. So yes, he's stretching himself too far.
We on SmackDown and we on Raw. Like, we just everywhere. Are we not?
We'll see. I mean, I feel like Jey is not ready to not. I don't think Jey is ready to be selfish.
He's not ready to be selfish yet. I get it, but I'm just saying, I thought there were some notable points that Gunther made, but I also very much love the way that Jey ended that situation. You tapped out. That was...
He did tell him, he goes, I just want to remind you, you tapped out.
That was a nice, I
didn't tap out. So yes, you're tapped out and you're by yourself. So you still don't have people around you. I got people.
I mean...
Listen, he even got CM Punk, and that's a random ally. That's just a random ally.
I don't get it. I was like, CM Punk is your friend? Like, where's the history? Just
like, that is a random ally.
That's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
And this is the funny part. If any of them had won the Money in the Bank, none of them was going after Jey. They were all going after John Cena.
Yes, but I also wonder... I think they're also...
Like, the only person who's going after Jey is Seth.
Yes, but I think there's more. I think that it wouldn't shock me... Actually, that's going to be part of the preview section. That there's something coming with Sammy. I think, again, when you go back to Karrion Kross's promo... with Sammy... And he reminded Sammy...
that you're not a good person.
But also... Yes, you're not a good person. But also that, like I said in a previous episode, you had the best deal ever to go over to SmackDown and immediately start championship challenging. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you decided to continue on the struggle bus over here on Raw, getting tsunamied and beat into the ground and whatever Braun is thing when he runs around the ring 17 times at 80 miles an hour and it feels like you've been hit by a truck. I mean... He has a point there. Why did you choose this? Why did you choose violence when you could have simply had the other choice and did what you had to do? And I love that they're using Karrion in that aspect because, I mean, how else do we get to see him? Shout out. I really would like to see more Karrion Kross. Please and thank you. Especially Charlotte just chilling in the corner. I was like, when are we going to see more of them? That's just my biggest complaint there also. But that being said, I feel that... it was a reminder that, yes, Sammy's not a good person. Because remember, during the pandemic, when he was, I don't even know what that was, the situation where he was coming out to the ring is, I don't know what that was. And he was not a good person. Not at all.
Oh, is that, wait.
That was when
Was that the time when he was, like, thinking everybody was going against him?
That's
no,
right.
That was before.
You okay? Jesus. Yes, that was that moment. I didn't realize you had that many thoughts about it. You are having a moment tonight.
Oh my God.
Maybe we should just take the video away from this week. We're having a moment. Your eyes are red. Oh my God.
My whole face is red.
Anyway, I think that y'all pray for me. This is the hardest
try not to die on camera.
This is the hardest episode with you.
Sorry, this is real life.
It's just a lot. But anyway, yeah, he's not a good person. And I think people forget that, knowing that we've had this good version of Sammy for several years now. But the truth is, he was just as bad.
Soon.
Yes, he was just as bad as Kevin Owens. If you remember. Like, we was like, oh, Lord, you never knew who was going to turn on who with them two. So, also, we still miss you, Kevin Owens. I just want to point that out. We miss you still. I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, so there's that.
Clearly he is, because he's out there tweeting all over the place. Anyway.
He is. I did enjoy that. But then the Stephanie Liv and the Ivy qualifying match for Money in the Bank, that one was also really, really great. It was a good showing for Stephanie Becerra, which you know. you know, she's like one of my favorites, also an Aries. Shout out to us. But
Okay, we're throwing out signs
we
here.
are
Okay.
because
Okay.
yes.
Big up Aquarius. Okay.
Anyhow,
Hey, you started it.
I
Anyway,
did.
it was a good match.
Yes. It was excellent. I mean, even Ivy shined, which, you know, she's often
I don't normally get to
understated.
see her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in matches numerous times, but it's just she never really stood out. And I felt like they did a really good job of Stephanie, Liv, and Ivy of like showcasing each of them and their strength. Liv always looks great. Stephanie and Ivy and Liv, they just had a great chemistry with each other. And I thought that match was fantastic. And yes, of course, Stephanie won, but also Liv could have used a little support.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, see, this is what happens when you want to cut the head off of the snake.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm trying to remember the saying, but clearly that's not the saying. But, you know, when you are too good for your britches.
Okay. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I'll give you that one.
Where she was like, oh, no, you gonna stay back here. Raquel gonna make sure you stay back here because you ain't gonna mess with our match. And I'm going, she wasn't the reason why you lost the last time. She actually pushed somebody off the thing. It was Raquel who decided to start arguing because Raquel didn't do that. She just created a diversion.
And still arguing. Still arguing. I was like, girl, shut up. Just please.
But that match was really good. I mean, Ivy, I would have actually. I'm not gonna say I'm actually surprised that Stephanie won because it seems like they're letting the newcomers win, who was in the Money in Bank match.
She's gonna be a great addition to that match, though, because
I'm not saying she won't, but what I'm saying is Ivy could have probably been good too because Ivy really showcased what she could do for real. I think putting Liv in it would have been too, but sorry,
not that.
You know what it is? She seems like she came back from the movie and felt like she was this privileged
movie star.
How can I say this without
a princess?
You know what? Whatever. She seemed like a little privileged little Karen.
Not a privileged Karen. I did not see that coming.
I couldn't think of another word.
I gave you
but
two
like
options.
she came. I know. Whatever. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. But she came back as in like I just came back, so now I'm gonna get this money in the bank. And it was like, girl, you were gone for whatever. And what y'all need to be doing is trying to challenge somebody, have someone challenge you for your tag team titles.
Oh yeah, that thing that we forgot they have.
You shouldn't be even trying to get into the Money in the Bank. Like y'all have a whole title situation that y'all are not even fighting champions.
Yeah, this is my opportunity to mention that Dom still is an Intercontinental Champion, and we ain't seen no defenses in quite some time. So
he needs to be one too, but you know they're too busy on this telenovela. Thank you,
novella for short.
Novella. Oh my god, all my Spanish friends are gonna be like, "What is wrong with you?" They're too focused on that because technically, even I think when we watched Humble's podcast yesterday, they kind of tiptoed on
Humble Roses.
Oh, yes, thank you. They tiptoed a little bit on the fact that this is also how Liv kind of got Dom.
That's right.
Chicken nuggets, little massage here. You love me, yeah. And here comes Roxanne. Here's a platter of chicken nuggets. Here's a box. Oh my god, you're kind of tight up here. Let me, Oh, hi. It's me. And Finn is over here like...
Finn.
Oh, even like that promo between Liv and Finn. After the match, she's like, I see what you're doing here. And it was like...
it's not Dominant.
He's like, what do you mean?
I don't trust. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? I didn't do anything. But even Dom don't trust him. Because then when Finn went... Dom goes, so what y'all was talking about? You're like,
yes,
nothing.
I just feel like you need to add more title situations into this novella. Like you can add title scenarios into the novella because at the end of the day, Dom has not defended that title.
I mean, I think he should defend it against Finn. Let them fight a little bit.
Or not even. Like, give him someone else to defend it against and give us more of the Finn.
Carmelo?
Well, we're on a different show, but there's other people on, I think this, okay, so this brings back one of those things that I have been listening to on TikTok. Who's a TikToker whose name I cannot remember right now, but I'm going to shout you out and I'm going to tag it to this video as soon as I remember your name, and because I've been watching a lot of your videos lately. But somebody on TikTok mentioned that there's a big problem that we're having with the way that they're using like the Intercontinental titles and the things that we expected from Dom as a champion, right? Mm-hmm. My biggest concern is that, oh, I'm sorry, that's not it, but that was another one that was on Twitter. But this one, he was talking about how Raw seems to have a vacuum, whereas SmackDown has a lot of talent, a lot of focus. And when you move to Raw, it just feels a little stagnant. It doesn't feel, and I think we talked about this before, needing the draft to come in and mix some things up, because, I mean, who is going to fight him for that? Like, we don't got no tag teams. Like, what's going on here? Even the tag team match with the New Day and New Day coming to ringside with the War Raiders and who won that match? Jeez.
I don't know.
See, that should tell you. Like, it just is, it's like the 17th time we've seen them face each other. That's the problem. We've seen the same tag team match on Raw forever. Like, insert this person's flip. It's like the same 3 teams all over again. Whereas we never see anything else. And this is another opportunity I felt like they could have used to build up Karrion Kross. Even if you were not going to make him champion right now, spend some time in his world. Someone needs to have a conversation with him. Like, why are you in everybody else's business when you need to be over here trying to get yourself this Intercontinental title? Like, there is a vacuum and some kind of mismatch of the talent and the creative on the show. It's not really memorable for anyone who is not bright and shiny. So the Judgment Day, we can't live our whole Raw situation on Judgment Day, Novella Act 1, 2, 3, 16, 18, and 25. Like, there's other people on this show that you need to highlight, and we don't get to see them. Ultimately, it's like I said, the tag team division is so blah that I can't even remember who was on that match. Because, do I care? Like, the War Raiders are fun to watch, as is, you know, New Day most of the time. But they need something to light a fire under that division. So maybe some people just need to move back and forth. I mean, there's some people, now I'm starting to wonder, do we even need these 2 tag team titles set again?
Separated again.
Because it might be time to retire one and just have one set of titles that people are fighting for. Because it's just a vacuum on Raw. It is kind of boring, and it's a disappointment to me because I know there are really big, you know, talents on that show who can have these great matches. And the match with the War Raiders was not terrible. It just was something, I didn't even put it on our sheet as one of the big stories because I was like, it was fine, but it didn't cause any like real thought. Which takes me to El Grande Americano.
Because don't get me started on that fool.
Listen, there was no way that he should have run that Money in the Bank match. There was no way that he should have won that match. There's 2 between CM Punk and AJ Styles and Chad Gable in a mask with the CG boots on. So, what? Y'all know we are smarter than this, right? I'm just going to assume you know this, but that's not the point. How are we going to make this work in Money in the Bank? We got to have somebody else dress up like Grande Americano?
Yeah.
I'm good on it.
Or Chad is going to switch out a couple times.
I wrote ridiculous next to that. I wrote ridiculous because I was like,
I'm trying to remember. Didn't they do that with Kane? They had someone else pretend to be Kane?
Yes. I do remember that. And they could, but I mean, this is what I mean about the writing on Raw. Do better. Get more creative.
No. I mean, definitely CM Punk or AJ Styles should have won that match. And I'm not gonna lie. I definitely know in the beginning they made sure to make sure he didn't have it, but he also wasn't on camera a lot.
No.
He definitely rolled out a couple of times.
Yes.
Because there's no way he would have been able to hit that thing again and not. No, there is. He put something back there.
Right.
And it's like, no, I think that was terrible. I think, but like I told you before, I also think that they're going to do this so that people can stop saying it's Chad Gable, but we all know it's Chad Gable.
I'm just yelling.
And then on top of that,
Michael
he has
Cole.
the match. So then this is the other thing. He has the match earlier in the day.
On Saturday.
Rose Clyde. Mm-hmm. Well, no, everything's on Saturday. It's at 3 o'clock.
I said it's earlier in the day, right? It's that earlier day on
earlier
Saturday.
In the day,
yeah.
On Saturday. Then you have Chad sequentially being twins in the same match.
Are they gonna let like one of the Creed brothers pop in and become Grande Americano?
But we're also gonna know it's not him because the stature's gonna be different.
See, do you see my problem? I want to pause now and remind people it was the Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. My bad, I couldn't remember that then. But like I said, chapter 75 of the next book of the same thing over and over again. All right, now back to our regularly scheduled conversation.
Okay. No worries. I mean, I think definitely, like you said, the writing has to get a lot better.
It's why they're losing viewers, because it's not really, like, I did finish it, but, I mean, only because I knew I had to do this. Like, in the past, I would have gone to sleep halfway through.
Yes. They definitely just need, maybe just when they, first off, I ain't gonna lie, I think they need to get rid of the draft. I think it needs to go back to where everybody fights everywhere. Because then you have more contenders. I get it. Then sometimes we may get stuck in a story because then it carries over to here. But technically, that's what we're technically in now. We're stuck in a story because Jey is on Raw and SmackDown. Like, he's going back and forth.
But I wouldn't say we're stuck in that story. I just think that stories... My problem is not that... I think there's enough talent, but the creative is not cohesive enough to have these stories, these umbrella stories that have that tell the story of each show, and then the characters that go in and out of these stories. I don't know what's stopping people from being able to tell these stories in a more like broader way instead of just focusing. Like I said, how many times do we say Judgment Day? That is insane. Yes, there's a lot of members, even, we miss you, Carlito. But regardless, like, there's other people on this show. Why are we not seeing them? My main complaint, as usual, is that we don't see enough people who we should see.
So you know what they should also do? Instead of just doing the draft to shake up the talent, they need to do a draft to shake up the writers.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. But I don't want SmackDown to suffer.
Well, maybe it won't. Maybe because of the shakedown, you pick one pick over here, you put them over here, and maybe the collab will be different.
Yeah. I mean, there's just other people. I'm looking at the roster right now, and there's all these people who we don't see. I'm just, the heck? Where are these people at? I don't understand it. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand it. So, also enjoyed more Becky and Lyra this week because that's my favorite story on Raw right now.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to get tired of them.
Are you?
Yeah.
Again, I think that's a creative problem.
It is a creative problem, but I also feel like I don't know. I think now, yes, it's gotten personal. It's like last week it was like, yeah, and now it's like, girl, what do you? I ain't gonna lie. I think I missed Becky's promo, so I was like, why are you mad? Why are you coming down here and you mad? I don't understand. It's like, you're not touching the fans. She was like, I'm just mad. And you hear her like, oh, I'm mad. And I'm like, why are you mad? What happened? And then, like,
it's just basically getting it. I mean, Lyra was
trying to get everybody ready for the match. I know that. But it was just like, okay, guys.
That was fun.
We could have did. They could have beat each other backstage.
I mean, but where are the other people? Where are the Kiana James? Where's the Grayson Wallers and the Austin Theories? Where are the people who are actually assigned to Raw that we haven't seen in a while? Are we just using them on speed in other places where we don't see them anymore? Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. And Raquel, she could have had a match this week. Didn't.
She did.
Who did she have a match with?
She had it with Corey from Damage Control. What's her name?
That's right. I'm sorry. She did have a match this week. I apologize.
Oh my God, she did.
Which tells you again.
Because then Liv interfered and EO was like, not on my watch.
See what I mean?
Beat her up.
See what I mean?
EO beat Liv up.
Yes. Again,
but
more
they also didn't want Roxanne to be there, so she could have helped them.
But again, more Judgment Day.
True.
Where are the rest of the people?
Come on, say, where did Rhea go?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Rhea.
I don't know where Rhea went. The Kiana James, we haven't seen her in like forever.
And then where'd Charlotte go?
She's on SmackDown, I believe.
I know, but still, she wasn't there either.
And Bayley is still hurt, quote unquote. Taking off some pictures. Hope she's having a great time off. But there's other people. Use more people than Damage Control. Expand your vision for more people. Use Karrion Kross more. Use more people. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up on a bow with Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, which we talked about briefly. But anything else you want to add about the insanity that is that end of every... That Raw was crazy ending. Like, I was like, yeah, this is just okay. Everybody seemed hurt.
Ultimately, Seth came out because they were losing. That's literally what was happening.
But he looked great. He looks great.
He looks fine.
Yes.
But he literally came out because they were losing. It wasn't because if they won, he would have stayed in the back. Or maybe he would have came out eventually. I know, I said he would have came out eventually.
Seen. Hard pass.
He came out eventually. But it was a lot of moving parts too. It was just like, I'm coming. CM Punk came. But then he like stomped everybody. Then I was like, where did Jay go? Because I don't remember where Jay went.
Yep, I was like, camera guy,
and then
help
Jay
me.
came back, and then he kicked everybody, and then got speared. And I was like, well, this is gonna be fun.
I just think I mean, I like the chaos of the ending of Raw. But again, I just think the storytelling needs to come up because, again, there's pieces I forget so quickly. I'm like, I know it's Thursday, but I forget so quickly what happened on Monday because it just doesn't make an impact. Unless we say Judgment Day. I mean, we should probably take a shot every time we do that at this point because...
Oh, you know what?
That might be the game.
We should.
Next time.
I mean, I may be a little tipsy.
Okay, moving on. Sure. So that being said, that was Raw. And so we're going to move on to NXT, which we had a surprise... debut.
Oh, I was like, huh?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna be like, what now?
Okay, I did see that.
Did you?
I mean, I've seen a little bit.
Okay.
Don't be so excited, guys. But it's also letting us know, even with these entrances. First off, once I realized who that person was, because when you said it, I was like, who won? Why? I didn't know who that was, and then when I saw it, I went, oh, I know who this was. This is when y'all were just the two of y'all, and y'all were fighting each other or talking junk to each other.
You talking about JCJ?
Yeah, that.
Okay,
Yeah,
you had to clue me in because I was talking about.
I don't know their names.
Okay, exactly. Okay,
wait.
So
that was the beginning. Wasn't that not the beginning?
I was like, we are talking about JC Jane.
Oh,
so don't worry. That's not why I was questioning you. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. So yes, we are talking about JC Jane and her fighting with Fallon.
Yes. Okay, that's who it was. See, thank you. I don't know their names. So yeah, so then when I saw it, I was like, wow. And I was like, when did they get a third member? I said, who was this?
Oh, Jasmine was there. Yeah, Jasmine's there.
Oh, wow.
It's a 3-person group. It's JC and Fallon and Jasmine.
Oh, I guess Jasmine wasn't there when it was just JC and Fallon that day when they were arguing.
Well, they bicker a lot. But I'm like, they're like sisters, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
But I do like how everyone did pop up.
Yes.
Someone introduced herself, don't know who that is, don't even know where she came from, which also brings to attention that we, unfortunately, going to have to start watching more shows that WWE has. We're going to have to start watching Evolve.
I mean, apparently so. That was on my list for today. I didn't make it. But yes, we need to start watching Evolve because they're starting to cross over. And so to go back to that a little bit, having JC Jane come out and basically be like, I'm a champion, and me being just dumbstruck, what I still don't see championship material. But I thought Lainey Reed said the thing that I most identified with is that she's a beatable champion. And I said, this makes total sense. And after thinking about that a little bit and seeing all the contenders come out, it made way more sense to me. I was like, okay, because we have such a wide open field of contenders. Even bringing in Lainey, like, I don't know who that is. Like, I just found that out this week. And introducing who we used to know as Mariah May from AEW. We don't know what she's going to be called. And
all we know is going to be glamorous.
It's glamorous, whatever it is. And I think this is actually a much better fit for her because, like I said, when I was with the Junkie podcast, Wrestling Junkies podcast, she just seemed to get lost over there with Toni Storm. So seeing her, she already started to pop in NXT, looking at who's left there. So you know what I think? I think this is a good opportunity for NXT writers to, like you said, can we have a draft? Can we have some NXT writers go up to Raw? Because I was into this, okay? I was like, oh, who is that coming out? This person's coming out. I had feelings, thoughts, and emotions. I love that the lights went off, which is what they always do in AEW, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, the lights are not going off like this. But here we are. It was an awesome way for that show to, like, take that championship to the next level and let us know there's more to come, right? So I'm like, I thought that was my favorite, like, segment, almost. That was my favorite female segment from NXT.
Okay.
I'm not going to say of the week because I did enjoy the SmackDown showdown with Naomi and Jade and Bianca. But it was also just awesome seeing that. And I can't wait to see what unfolds with everybody. And because everybody's like, I want my chance. Put me in, coach. And I was like, put them in. I want to know. Even though I'm still hoping Jada gets her first championship soon. All right. So that being said, you finally got to meet Tyra May Steele on NXT.
I did, and that match was amazing. That was really... I see why she won.
Yes.
I see why she won. That was a very amazing match. Granted, to me, like I said, I don't really watch NXT, so I felt like the person she fought, which is Ariana.
Right? Grace.
Okay. I felt like she was... daughter. Oh, that's what that is? Oh, okay. I felt like she wasn't evenly matched. But she did start getting some good hits in. Because initially I was like, girl, she is beating you up. Like, you don't even have a chance. Like, you can't, like, I thought there was going to be a 1, 2, 3, like, it was going to be done. And I was like, wow.
It was going to be a squash match. Not quite. Yeah. She's pretty good.
But it wasn't. She did start fighting back and she started doing stuff. So it became a match. But still is really good.
Yeah, she had a definitive win, and I think I love that Ariana Grace has really elevated. Like, her previous skill set, I don't remember much of her previous work at NXT, but I think all the back and forth to TNA has really improved her promo skills, has really made her more confident in her ability, even in the ring. I thought they worked really well together. But my favorite match that evening, period, was the TNA championship match, which is starting to make me think I need to watch TNA now.
I tweaked my ankle. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm getting ready to, like, girl, this is a struggle bus this week. So
I'm sorry.
TNA championship match was fire, is what I wrote, because
it was really good.
Mike Santana. First of all, I do remember him from AEW. So again, I keep saying this because I used to watch it pretty religiously, but not anymore. But watching him in this match with Trick, they were so great together. I was into it. I was engaged the whole time. I was emotional. I was like, into every near fall. It was so good. And I was kind of pissed that we had someone break up the match because I was waiting for a definitive winner for sure and didn't appreciate seeing people interrupt what I thought was an awesome match between them.
That match, first off, I just want to say the beginning of the match, to see Elijah, aka Elias, over there watching, like, okay, I know one of y'all are gonna do it, and that's who I'm fighting this Friday. That's who I'm gonna be fighting. It was one of those, like, now you have a bystander out here watching. Is he going to interfere? Is he just gonna stand there and watch? What are we gonna do? That match, to see Trick really going back at it, to see, I mean, I've never really watched AEW, but maybe glances of clips on Instagram. So to see, I ain't gonna lie, I thought Santino was actually a part of NXT. I didn't realize he was part of TNA.
Yeah.
What'd I say? I know. Anyway, so
it's late again,
it
y'all.
is, but I never watched that either. I never watched TNA either. So it was like one of those, like, I didn't know he wasn't supposed to be there. That's the caliber of, like, the match that they were having. And I kind of forgot that we were fighting for the TNA championship. But yes, I think the fact that it wasn't a clear match at the end where we, like, Trick really won. He didn't need to get nobody. And, like, I got this title for a reason, and it's going to stay with me. But it was cool to see pretty much Santino's people turn on him.
Santana.
Who is Santino?
Really? You don't remember Santino? From WWE? No?
The one with the snake? Anyway. I don't know right now. The one remember who was with Emma? They had the snake and the cobra.
Okay, yeah, you lost me there. I don't know who that is. Sorry. Now I feel like we're mismatching this whole entire conversation. I have no idea. I guess we both need to do some research because I don't know who you're talking about. I was like, with Emma? I wasn't watching then. I got no answers for you.
Emma was
I have no idea. I know who Emma is, but I don't know if she worked with Santino.
But then he had the sock, he had the cobra, he was like... You
remember him getting dressed up as a woman and going into a Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
That was him? Okay, then we're talking about the same person then.
Okay, so why you act like you don't know that?
I don't know that. That's true. I don't know that.
Oh my. Okay.
So obviously we're both, I'm like, you don't know who I'm talking... Okay. And Ariana's his daughter? Like... That's why you gotta watch more shows. I keep trying to tell you. You gotta spend more time with NXT, and then it'll just roll off the thing. And apparently, I need to figure out what was going on with Emma and Santino back in the day. I don't know. So, your guess is as good as mine there. But nonetheless,
oh my god,
we were talking about Santana. Mike Santana is who we were talking about.
Okay, that's who it is. Mike Santana, and the people who turned on him was his people. Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
But again, because we don't watch TNA, we don't have a whole bunch of background on that. But I did see Top Dollar.
Right, Top Dollar. Because Top Dollar... Oh, because that's right, because they have a podcast or a radio or something with O'Shea Jet. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with the rest of this thing. So,
this is why we have got to stop doing this late. Yes, 100%. So, it was a great match, and it's fun. Now it's time for the speed round, because I don't know how much longer we're going to hold this on. We are barely making it here. And I'm going to spend a lot of time either editing or crying. I don't know. So,
yeah.
Let's talk about Worlds Collide. It's going to be a very fun Saturday, and I'm super excited. So we're going to start. Y'all, first of all, y'all going to have to forgive me because I practice these names, but my Spanish may fail me. So, Worlds Collide, WWE, AAA, NXT, and we're going to go speed round. You know the deal. We pick who we think is going to win, and then, for shits and giggles, we'll see who wins at the end of the day. All right, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable for the AAA Mega Championship. So who we got there?
Unfortunately, even though I don't want to, I'm going to say Chad Gable.
I don't think so. I'm going to say the Hijo del Vikingo because I saw him in AEW. We saw some of his work on, I think it was Saturday Night Main Event too, potentially. I think he got involved in some of the match, I think, with Chad Gable. So I could see like him really continuing to keep that title because at the end of the day,
Oh, it's for the title?
yeah, the AAA Mega Championship.
Ah, okay.
So I could see him keeping it because that's his, that's his home. I could see that being a thing. And
okay, so I didn't know it was for the title, so I changed my answer.
Okay.
It'll be for the.
So who are you gonna pick again?
That guy.
What's his name?
The champion.
You are horrible. All right.
Not about to trip me up.
All right. Next was Legado del Fantasma versus Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. and Psycho Clown. That was easy.
Oh, I'm gonna say Psycho Clown.
I'm gonna go with Legado del Fantasma because I can say it. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Joking. I'm gonna go with I forgot a name. I'm sorry. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown because that's their home, and I could see that breakup happening with Legado del Fantasma because we just said this. Humberto is not happy. He's not pleased to be there. All right, Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and Dalis.
So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a draw.
You think that's going to be a draw?
Because I've never seen these other people fight, so I don't know what they have.
Have you seen Lola fight?
I have.
Okay.
So I mean, if I if I have to pick, I'll just pick Stephanie and Lola.
Yeah, I would say.
But I feel like it's going to be a really good. I feel like it's going to be a really good match, though. Like that's going to be the match I'm probably going to really pay attention to. I'm probably not going to pay attention to the other two, but I'm going to pay attention to that one.
Well, there's more, so I think there's a few others that I'll keep your attention to. But I will say, I do think Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice will probably have the edge over them. Again, truthfully, I've never seen the other two wrestle, but Lola, she got some ones and twos. So, and I think combined with Stephanie's skill set, I think it'll be hard pressed to see anyone else but them succeed. All right, and then we have our quadruple threat for the NXT North American Championship with Ethan Page versus Ray Phoenix versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid. So this is going to be a fun one. Lots of flying, lots of stuff happening. Action packed.
Ray Phoenix.
You gonna say Ray Phoenix?
Yes.
This is hard.
Ooh.
This one's gonna be hard.
Are you stumped?
It is hard to figure out who I think is gonna get the championship. I'm gonna go with Ethan Page because I say he's gonna do whatever he got to do to hold on to the championship.
Okay.
Ethan Page is like, you ain't about to lose me. I'm keeping my title. I just got it back. He did the worst thing possible to Ricky Saints, and so he's keeping that. If he has to knock all their heads together and leave them in the ring, he gonna do it. So
okay,
I can see him doing whatever necessary. And then the last match is the LWO versus Octagon Jr., Arrow Star, and Mr. Iguana, because these are the best names ever. I mean, for real. The LWO though, Joaquin, he's out. He had a bit of an injury in the speed tournament recently, so his speed tournament match, so he's not going to be in. They're replacing him with someone else who's I can't remember right now, but it's essentially the person's going to be an honorary member of the LWO that night.
I'm going to say Mr. Iguana.
You're going to go with the team of Octagon, Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same, because I just love saying that. I love saying it. I have to say, I'm super psyched for Worlds Collide. You know how much I love this particular style of wrestling. Lucha Libre is a huge passion of mine to watch, and I'm excited that I get to kick off my Saturday with popcorn and lots of hyperness on that. All right, ready for our Money in the Bank matches?
Sure.
Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Who you got?
Well, do we really need to know? I am team Cody and Jay.
Yep. I also feel like we're gonna be yeeting all night too. So I stand the Jey win here. So Cody and Jey. Plus, I hope they're in the press conference after, and I hope they're a little
Are we
tipsy.
sure? Are we sure you want them?
I hope they're a little tipsy again.
I think you said thirsty.
Nope,
I was like,
I
wait.
said tipsy. I hope they're a little toasted so that we can watch them try to answer questions, being way, way too liberated to do so. So that's who it is. All right, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match: Solo versus LA Knight versus Seth Rollins versus Penta versus Andrade versus El Grande Americano.
I'm gonna say it's Seth because I feel like they set it up to make sure that Seth won. Don't make that face. He's your favorite wrestler too, so I don't even know why you about to sit here and try to go against it.
I wasn't going to. I was thinking about how much fun I'm going to have too. Okay. I'm wondering how this is gonna work with El Grande Americano in this match. I don't get it. But anyway, I was like, is he gonna be hurt the night before? Like, how does this work? Are we finally gonna unmask him? I have a few predictions for this one. I hope they unmask him in this match. But if not, his mask is gonna be a problem. So, and how come it doesn't work when they headbutt him? Like, or when he hits his head on the mat? Because or when he hits his head on the turnbuckle. Why is it that he seems to be immune to whatever the hell is in his mask and no one else is?
Because
he has a hard head. Is that why?
No, because he probably doesn't put it in until he knows he wants to win. Then he slides it in. Now when have we seen it after he slides it in that he starts hitting his head on things?
I don't know. I just wanted to ask that question.
I'm surprised he don't give himself his own concussion by hitting people upside the head.
That's what I'm saying. Make it make sense. So I'm picking Seth all the way because, again, like I tell you, the heels have the most fun and Money in the Bank, and I think this is set up for Seth to do big things. All right, we're going to talk about the women's Money in the Bank match. We got Alexa Bliss. This, I think, is going to steal the show. I want to say that. Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez and Julia and Naomi versus Stephanie Becerra. Yeah, I think this one's going to steal it for the night.
I mean, we already know I'm going with Naomi.
Yeah, you're going with Naomi.
Win, we riot.
We do, as I agree with it. I think that's hard. It's a hard one, but I want it to be Naomi too. But I feel like if it's not Naomi, it's something to do with Jade. I feel like Jade could... Bianca. Or Bianca. Because I also feel like we're setting up some stuff there. But I feel like that could wait till she has the championship. So I feel like Naomi or we riot, as we said. All right, and then Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Becky.
I'm going to say this again for the second daggone PLE in a row. I think Becky comes back. Bailey comes back. Sorry.
I'm like, Becky's already back.
I'm sorry. Man. I know. Not who I'm talking about. Bailey's going to be back.
Bailey's going to come back?
And cost Becky this championship.
Okay.
So that way it still keeps being Lyra. But also I feel like I said, Lyra's finally become a champion that feels worthy of the mantle of this championship. So I feel like keep her as champion for a little while longer, I feel like. So like I said, this weekend's gonna be crazy. I'm super excited. Like, we have a long weekend ahead of us.
Well, okay, what do you think is going to be like a quick prediction about what SmackDown's going to be tomorrow?
It's gonna be a lot of, so they did already announce several matches, like some tag matches with the Money in the Bank women's contenders. All the Money in the Bank contenders are going to be in the house. So they said Nick Aldis was on social networks sharing all of this. I think it's just going to be more chaos. I think they're going to build some animosity. They want to start giving you a preview of this and that. There's some, like I said, those are tag team matches. I can see Lyra and Becky coming face to face again. Potentially, I can definitely see more Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul shenanigans as well. Please don't let that end the night, though.
Know what I can DC also too? More Wyatt Six.
Yes, please.
More Wyatt Six. and seeing how that explodes into something, and seeing where they go with it. I think they actually are trying to really move them in the direction of having them be on screen a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I did see Fraxium, one of them post about leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. He's like, I didn't do nothing. I was like, you didn't. You was just there. You was like, you was just a victim. Both of y'all
like, I don't even know these people. I just got here.
Right. Here I am getting my behind beat, and all I did was just appear. It's not right. It's not fair. So I'm excited. You know how I feel about wrestling weekends. I could just go on because it's exciting, and we get to be introduced to a whole new wrestling promotion. So I just am super, 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 super excited. So. All right, so this was a long one. We've been at it for quite a while, and I just want to say this is our time to thank you for hanging with us. If you hung with us this whole time and you went through the live interruptions of children and sneezes and dogs barking, because you might have heard that from my end as well, then we appreciate you. We thank you for joining us and chatting with us and listening to us. We want to invite you to join our tribe. We want to invite you to visit maineventmamas.com, where you can find all of our videos and all of our social links and our latest episodes and some that you might have missed, right? That's a great way to catch up if you guys are behind a little bit. I also want to share the exciting news.
I was about to say, wait, we can't forget the exciting news.
No.
Can I say it?
Yes.
We are now WWE Shop affiliates.
That's right. So if you want to get your merch, go ahead and visit our website for the link directly, or you can go ahead and visit our link tree, which is the first thing you see. So if you want to get your hands on some of the newest or latest merch to support your favorite superstar, don't forget us. We want you to go ahead and support our podcast along the way so we can keep bringing you more stuff. So we really want to put that out there. This is also your time to hit that like and subscribe button. And to follow us on your favorite socials, because we are on Twitter and TikTok and Threads and Instagram and Facebook.
And also you can listen to our podcast on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Amazon Audio,
Audible.
What?
Audible.
What did I say?
Audio.
Oh, my bad.
No worries. And podcasts, which Pocket Casts, as my sister is laughing herself away from the episode. So we want to say we're not new to this.
We're so true to this. And this is Main Event Mamas.